Welcome to The Story Tinker, a Webtoons and Witcher podcast for superfans with scene-by-scene analysis. Featuring sharp co-hosts for a fuller picture, we dive deep into character psychology, relationships, and theories. We'd love it if you could like, subscribe, comment, and rate us on all podcast platforms and social media. For bonus content, you can support The Story Tinker on Patreon. Let's begin. Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 174 of Let's Play. And we are with Krystine and maybe Sabra if she comes back. All right, so our recap is of the nefarious activities of Eva and Daddy Lawson. They're plotting something, right? I'm gonna read the panels again because it's like pretty important what they say. Eva is like, please Dad, I've done a lot of work for this and I've called in a lot of favors for whatever this is. And he, is facing away from her. He says, we're running out of time as it is, Eva. I should have entrusted this task to someone more capable in the first place and who would have had this handled by now. So manipulative, all that. Please, lad, give me another chance to talk to him. I won't let you down. Sigh, very well. Let it not be said that I am not a patient father. Well, I do. I guess we've already talked about him before, so we're just getting the plot out of this. Thank you, Dad. You're welcome. But be quick about it, Eva. I meant what I said about running out of time. I understand. And on the screen, we see stalkery pictures of Marshall and Monica and Marshall and more Marshall. So, yeah, Daddy Lawson has something up his sleeve, and it has to do with Marshall, and it has to do with Eva doing something and convincing him of something. That's the context. All right, so we open up. We have the apartment, and Charles is coming in, and Sam is sleeping. And he, climbs over her, so cute. He reaches over and he kisses her on the cheek.
It's so domestic. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's adorable. And she's like, kisses her, and she's like, morning, Charles. And she turns around. Yeah, it's be like, I'm like so sexy in the morning. Would you have guessed?
I'm so innocent. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Right? She's like, I just have these like this like blanket is just sliding lower and lower.
I'm like, you're doing Monica proud. Monica,
right?
So proud.
He texts her. She even has that little wink. She's like, oh no, I'm just blearily opening my eyes one at a time. He's like, morning, Munty. And she's like, how did you sleep? Any nightmares? No more nightmares. I slept very well. He leans in and she's like, good. And he says, I took 𝗪𝘆 out so you can sleep in. And she's like, oh, thank you. And I just have to say, I think you and I are both large-chested ladies. I don't know about you, but when I am not wearing a bra and I am standing up, lying down, my boobs go to the side. They don't go up. They do not go up. So it's okay. It's fine. We get it. She's sexy, but just pointing that out. This doesn't happen naturally.
Nope.
Yep. And she's like, are you leaving? She's being, blushing and being all sad. And he's like, smiles at her. But he says, I have somewhere I need to be, I'm afraid. But he's not telling her. Do you have any guesses? Like, why?
I don't. And I'm like, sir, where are you going? That is taking that. What is so important?
Right? Is it fencing lessons? Like he would tell her, no? He's not telling her.
I was like, if it was fencing, I assume this is the same day because like later on we see like Ava and Marshall, and I'm like, well, it couldn't be fencing because I assume Ava would be there too. So I don't know if it's fencing.
It's a Saturday, right? That's the day of the week.
I assume so. Yeah.
No, I think there's something he's hiding from her.
I'm like, do you have a Zoom call with what do you call it? The other company?
Like on Saturday? I don't know.
I don't know.
He has to pack. Yeah, something. And then he rubs her cheek and he's like, oh, they certainly don't make it easy to go. She's like, you don't have to go, Charles. I don't have any plans today. You can stay here with me.
Doing Monica proud. She's quick. She's quick on the upkeep.
Yeah, that's good. She's grown a lot. She's definitely grown a lot.
Yeah, that's one of like the huge positives about this relationship. Like,
Yep. comfortable being that way with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it's very tempting, but I can't. He holds her cheek and she's like, it's okay, I'm just teasing. Oh, look how happy she looks. She's like so alive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi,
Well, he
Sabra.
looks so happy too.
No. We're just talking about how Sam grew up and matured so much that she's able to like flirt with Charles and be like, you can stay with me. And she's like, well, I just wanted to make you feel a little guilty about it. It's working. So have a nice day, Charles. And if you need me, I'll be here. And that smile. He's so smiley.
We love
You're muted, Sabra.
I said he looks so happy.
Yeah, we love happy Charles.
Right.
Yeah.
This is like
he just
non-problematic Charles. This is how he should be, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He seems like a weight's been lifted off of his shoulders right now, which is nice.
Mhm.
What do you think he's gonna go do though? Have you talked about that yet?
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
we
we
did.
didn't know. We were like, what could he be doing? Fencing lessons? But he would tell her.
No, he would have told her there's something weird going on. I'm actually wondering if it has to do with Ellesmere or if it has to do with
He said
Lawson
that.
for some reason. I'm really hoping that he's not in cahoots with Lawson in a way, but then again, we do know that he works with Lawson because Lawson is their lawyer. So I don't know. I still would not be happy if I found out that Charles knew about the surveillance going on Samara, but I can't imagine Papa Jones wanting him to be in on it.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't think that's that. It's, I don't know. You know, it's funny because I guess we have two options. Like either it's related to something we've seen already or it's something totally new. I'm kind of more on the totally new part because
we've still got a lot of twists. No, I'm just gonna get a really dorky twist in my head.
What was the
So I still think that we haven't seen what Charles's hidden hobby is yet. And so I was like, what if it's like a Dungeons and Dragons marathon or something? That'd be awesome.
Cute.
Shouldn't be embarrassed to tell her, but whatever. I guess everything
Well,
has its own time.
he's opened up so much. Maybe he's just gotta one step at a time, like the Grinch. I love you, Max.
Yeah, he's a cutie. And so now we have the view of the outside of the building and in his tiny shorts. This man is like basically naked.
Shorts.
Yes. And you know, he's got that buff body and like
he is so hairy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The men in my life are not hairy. Like nobody, my whole family, no man in my family is hairy.
Yep.
My husband is not hairy. I had an uncle that was hairy when I was little. He didn't even like kids. We were at his house. He's pretty wealthy, and so he had a whole bunch of fancy schmancy things in his house, and kids break things. So he didn't really like me much, or he didn't like kids normally. But when I was little, maybe like 2 or 3, I sat in his lap and started to pet him like a cat because he was so hairy, and I'd never seen it before.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and that looks to me like it's even like shaved or something or waxed because it looks like it's a little bit left, whatever. Anyway. But yeah, and he's hilarious. He's like, I only wanted to die twice during that run, and I almost threw up once. I think I'm getting better already. He's such a positive dude. He's such a cutie guy. But you also see his attitude of like, he's very goal oriented, and you know, he's not letting it stop him. The fact that he was out of shape because he had to, you know, stop. He's not letting it stop him from continuing his like fitness goals. Which I admire, I appreciate as someone who like I'm working out right now and I love it. I think it's great that people have that motivation. And also he's a little bit like, what's the word?
Sorry,
he's hard.
My dog's having issues.
Yeah. Okay. He's like, he's like a hard on himself. Like he holds himself to high expectations. He's like, I have to do this, and he's like, I only, you know, like stuff that most people would stop at and say like, no, this is too hard for me. I can't, I'm going to quit. He's like, no, I can't quit. Like I have to keep myself to those high standards.
He's done that a lot. I mean, he's actually, it's so weird because in so many ways, he's very self-aware, like how he was able to get away from his toxic family. And I guess in some ways he kind of created this other persona to get away from the toxic people in his life, but he's just very self-aware in what he needs, it seems like. He took himself to therapy, alcoholics,
Right.
you know, he put himself in rehab. That's the word I'm looking for. So he's, yeah, there's a lot of pluses with Marshall. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I'm glad you realized that. It's cute. He's a good person. It's like a bunny, you know.
He's like a puppy.
All right.
Yeah,
little puppy dog.
And he's like, huh? And he looks and he sees Charles coming out. And he's like, oh, it's Charles. He must be leaving Sam's. I thought I heard someone in the hall last night. Guess it was him. He must be headed to the car park. I wonder if he'll be back tonight. So yeah, he's not jealous at all. Like at this point, he's just like, this is Charles. This is her boyfriend or whatever, lover.
Whatever.
So great.
Which also makes me feel like they're more designed to be friends. But, I mean, it definitely could. I think this is kind of just setting it up that Charles could be jealous over a situation that he shouldn't be jealous over.
Right. Yeah.
So, because we get all of these instances where Marshall is very like, oh, well, there's who she's having sex with currently, you know, and doesn't seem like it bothers him at all.
Yeah, and on the opposite, he's concerned, and he feels he's so responsible. Like he feels like he has to be in charge, not in charge, but like he is responsible for other people and for anything. Like he's like, I have to do things. I have to be good for others. I have to be there for others. Like that's his trait. And he's like, oh, should I have suggested that Sam get more than one box of condoms? Right?
Does he know how active Charles is?
I don't know how many condoms come in a box.
I don't know. It depends on the size.
Right.
I think it took us 2 years to get through one of the boxes we bought in like in Testford's like, yeah, you don't need that many.
So yeah, he's like, you know, that's his type. He's like always worrying about other people concerned, and he feels like it's his duty to help others, which, you know, good trait and bad trait at the same time. He's like, well, I suppose I can make sure she knows she can order them in bulk online. Those like, hey Sam, how you doing? Just want to let you know you can buy them on Amazon.
Here, I sent you the link.
I sent you a link.
I had different sizes.
I'm surprised he didn't make a comment like, oh, maybe I should have let her get the extra one.
Oh, dear. I was like, plus I'm sure Charles is classy enough to have extras. Cute.
Classy?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that the word? Okay.
Yeah.
And he opens up his door in his apartment, and I'm just looking at his counters because I am very aware of how organized or not organized people are. And he has takeout food containers and an empty bottle and soda stuff. I'm like, Marshall, I like you. Don't do this.
You were just at the hospital. You should be taking care of yourself.
I know, no, just keep it clean. Keep it clean. I hate mess. It's like whatever.
I will not let you see what's in this room then.
No, I am married to an ADD man who does not even notice anything at all. And like you could just see, I come in the house and it's like, here's what you ate for breakfast and lunch because it's all still out. Like the empty bottles, the cups, the plates, everywhere. Anyway, so I had to learn to understand that not everyone is born with an awareness of their surroundings and the stuff around them. But whatever. So I can give you a pass, Marshall, but I'm not so happy. Disappointed.
You prefer how Charles keeps his apartment?
Yeah, 100%. Yes. My husband doesn't let me forget. We have two guy friends, and they were like OCD neat freaks. Like their houses were like amazing, and like they were just friends, right? Like, you know, my husband knows if there are some people that like, you know, whose qualities I admire, right? But they were just like random people. They're not random. They were friends of ours, but I never like the guys themselves were like, But their apartments, I to this day I rave about them. I'm like, did you see his soap was aligned with the faucet and like everything was in the right place and there was nothing out? I'm like, I just like rave about that stuff. So so he said he's wondering to himself, I wonder if the banner I drew for the coffee shop is helping. I should stop by and see if she wants a new one drawn soon. Which once again, look at him, he's just helping all the time.
So sweet.
I wonder if he tries to just keep his mind busy off of other things that don't bother him. Like,
Right.
I don't want to work on myself. I just want to think about exercising. I want to think about helping draw, yeah, instead of the elephant that's in the room, right?
Right. No, I think you're 100% right. I think that's maybe a bit of an avoidant strategy on his part. So
Kind of
he's
scattered too, just
Yeah.
bouncing from one topic to another.
So he's putting his water ball down and his phone rings and it's big sister. And he's like, hello, big sister, to whether I was a play. And he stops. His hair, by the way, is adorable. It's like a little man bun thing, a little half a bun. He's like, lunch? Yeah, I can do lunch today. Is everything all right? Okay, I'll see you then. Bye. He's like, that can't be good. All right. So he is not stupid.
Well, he knows.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I think is funny is we were talking about timing and how long this episode, this story has been going and everything. I just think it's funny on how much the hair has changed between like Sam and Marshall and how much it's grown. And we keep thinking, but it's probably only been a couple of weeks. It's like, but your hair's grown a lot.
Yeah.
But I did hear her say that her hair's changed. Mongi said that Sam's hair changes in length the more mature and grown up she gets. It's kind of symbolic, so it probably doesn't matter about the timeline. It's just where is she emotionally. I don't know if it's the same for Marshall.
I love him. I think to me it's a little bit right. He's going back to his old self because his older self had long hair. So I think it's like a little bit showing like that's his journey. He's trying to integrate.
Yeah, I'd say maybe his true self instead of his old self because he doesn't like his old self.
Right. Yeah, true. I love long hair men, so keep growing, Marshall. It's good.
It does look good.
Okay. My turn now? Yay. Okay. So we see this fancy restaurant, Brasserie Lyon,
right?
Which I assume is a fancy French restaurant.
Lyon is actually a city in France.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can tell it's fancy. I can see on the table there are 2 forks. If there are 2 forks, I'm like, okay, we're fancy.
Definitely not In-N-Out.
Nope. And we see Ava and Marshall, and Marshall's like, thanks for inviting me to lunch, Ava. We've hardly seen each other over the past year, and it's great that we're visiting more. And I like that, like, they look more like siblings now because like Marshall's hair is like longer. He's really cute.
Yeah, he's wearing I love his headband. So
and so Marshall's like, so what is it that you want?
Get to the point.
Yeah, straight to the point. And he was like, what? I can have lunch with my brother without an ulterior motive? And Marshall's like, given our family history, I find that hard to believe. And it was just like, all right, fine.
Good for you, Marshall. I like when people are open.
And so Ava starts, are you familiar with Strife Games, Inc.? They're a video game developer here in California. And Marshall's like, of course, they develop the most popular multiplayer online battle arena game in the industry. They're hugely successful. And in this panel, I'm like, Marshall, your chesticles are out.
I appreciate it. I know it's
do too.
A little flashy and like showy, but I don't know. First of all, Marshall doesn't seem like he really focuses on that. Obviously, he works out, right? So like, I don't know if it's like fitness motivated, health motivated, mood motivated, or like,
I think he likes to look good. I mean, when I remember how he and Monica were together, I feel like he's like, I got it. If I got it, I'm gonna flaunt it, but not in a conceited way. It's just, I know I look good, and that's okay.
I don't see him putting much attention on how he looks, but except for with Monica, yes, like
fitness wise.
But I don't know, like, I mean, I think it looks great, and it to me, it's a little bit surprising that he's so showy because it's like he seems like a more humble guy, but maybe he's, I guess so.
You did see what he was running in, right?
Nothing. It's hot. It looks like it's hot when you run.
It's hot. Yeah. Looks more like underwear. Those are such short shorts.
Yep.
Might as well be running in a Speedo.
My husband doesn't even wear shorts.
I know.
Period. He said since he was younger, he's like, it just doesn't seem like I'm wearing enough clothing. He's very conservative. So, like, just wear shorts. It's the summertime.
But I liked also like the contrast between like, okay, Marshall's testicles are out, whereas Eva's has like a turtleneck long sleeve.
Right.
Maybe that's kind of indicative of their personalities. She's
Mhm.
concealing and she's hiding and she's being kind of manipulative and he's very honest and open
Open. Yes.
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
His
with other
heart
people, not
is
technically
there.
with himself, but
Look, it starts right by his heart, right? His heart is out there for the world to see.
Oh,
his poor broken taco heart.
I know. All right. And so Ava continues, she's like, they're also our client at the law firm. And while speaking with one of their staff, he stated that they are desperate for a new concept artist. She's like, I told him my brother has a degree in art and was interested in working in the game industry. He said he'd be very interested in meeting you for an interview. That's what you want, right? To work as an artist for that kind of stuff. And Marshall's just like surprised, and he's like, well, yeah, it is, but I haven't focused on my art for a while. My portfolio's dated. I haven't done digital art since college. I'm not even sure I have a single reference, and I'm working as a VTuber now. If I took the job as a concept artist, I wouldn't have time to do both. And Eva's just kind of like,
Uh-oh. My plan is not working out.
And so she pulls out the big guns and she says,
so before we get to that a bit, what do you think about Marshall's turning it down so fast, or like in his mind, saying, oh, I'm not good enough?
Maybe that's his confidence. He's not overly confident in himself pursuing his dream. It scares him. It's a big step. So I think that's maybe his insecurity showing through a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that is a Marshall thing. I think it's also, like the insecurity, and I think what you said about being scared to chase your dreams is also, it's something I think about all the time. I always wonder, like, I want to be a novelist and I'm like never writing, and I'm like, Mindy, like everything you've wanted to do in your life, you've done. You wanted to marry your husband against great opposition, you did it. You wanted to do a bachelor's degree, you did it. You wanted to do a master's degree, you did it. Like, you want to do the podcast, you do it. I'm like, why aren't you writing? I'm like, there must be some part of you that is scared to do it, scared to like live your dreams, because maybe it's like you want it to be a dream, like you don't want it to actually be real life, and it's hard. I don't know, whatever. I have to still figure that out. But I wonder if that's also an element of what's holding Marshall back.
So yeah, Ava pulls out the big guns and she says, Mom's been really worried about you. You know how much she loves your art. I think it breaks her heart knowing you're not drawing anymore. And then you got sick overworking yourself as a VTuber. And she just shrugs and says, I think she's afraid you've turned your back on your dreams, and she's worried about the effect it'll have on your health. I honestly don't know what to tell her. Manipulation.
Yep. Whew. Listen, everything she says might be true. And it sounds nice, like she's encouraging him to go after his goals, and she's like, you're good and you can do
it. Sounds like it's so nice, a gift wrapped in a pretty bow. It's just perfect.
I don't dislike Eve, but what she's doing right now is manipulative, and obviously we know it's in service of her father just by the introduction.
We see
I was just feelings like that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We see so many people dealing with different difficulties and trauma and fears and things like that. She's the only one that I feel like isn't trying to work on herself, isn't trying to improve. And I feel like she's stuck under the thumb of her father. And unfortunately, she's currently okay being there.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's her bed, and she's lying in it. Poor Marshall. He just falls right for it.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's so naive.
Yes.
Dude, do you not see through
Despite knowing his family, he's still
and despite
being
knowing,
manipulated by them.
Yeah, and he verbalized himself that like, oh, you always choose dad's side. You always choose dad's side.
And he knows she wants something from him. Look, ostensibly, you could say maybe she really wants to help this client out, so that's why she. Oh, come on,
She
tell me there's
did
no
it
concept artist in
masterfully.
the whole of California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did it masterfully.
She learned from the best.
And she understands her brother.
Yes. She knows what will trigger him. My God, using it so crude, using his love for his mom against him. Ew.
It's pretty scuzzy.
She's.
So I'm really curious on how her story is gonna unfold. Like, what is her role gonna be? Because we do like Eve to an extent. She's kind of a powerful woman, and when her dad's not involved, she's a doormat there. So I'm kind of curious how her story's gonna unfold. But she's definitely doing a lot of shady things right now.
And so she continues. She's like, anyway, here's the guy's business card. Give him a call. Even if it's to tell mom you haven't given up. Just to drive that knife further. Yeah.
It's like using the mom card and the like you haven't given up card. I mean, like those are like two of the most important values people have in their life. Like going after your goals, not giving up, and family. Like, oh my God, she's just so blatant. And he's so naive. He's like, yeah. I love you, Marshall. You're a sucker right now, at least.
And he's like, okay, Ava, I'll do it. I'll dust off my portfolio and give him a call for an interview. Thanks for the opportunity. And we see Ava smiling. And
she looks so sincere and sweet.
Yeah.
She's happy because she got her way. Some of it.
Some of it.
Maybe now my dad will be proud of me.
And Marshall's like, so what's good to eat here? And then we cut to Lawson Legal, and we see Mr. Lawson at his desk, and we hear a chime, and it's a text from
he's
Ava.
in the office on Saturday. What is with these people, these workaholics?
I'm like, I don't care. He can do whatever he wants. Whatever. Well, not whatever, but I'm not surprised that he's in the office on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And so he gets a text from Ava saying step 1 complete, and Mr. Lawson says finally. So my thing is, I'm like, what does I don't understand how that ties in. How does a gaming company needing
I had a little theory. What if, so obviously this interview it could be a farce.
Right.
I mean, it's being fabricated by his father. I don't know if it's a real interview or not. It could be, but what if it's specifically designed to kind of tell Marshall that this isn't the way to go, basically a guaranteed fail, to kind of force him down a path that his father wants, because his father doesn't like him doing his art. So I don't understand why he would encourage Marshall to apply for this. So it makes me think that he's going to sabotage it in a way.
That's so interesting.
I still want. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was thinking the opposite, but they want him to take the job. I just haven't gotten to the why part yet.
Well, I mean, it really could be either or. I've really got no idea.
Yeah, I'm trying to think why would his father want to take, let's say, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's some plot. I really don't know, actually. I don't know. I'm trying to, what benefit would his father have, if his son takes a job in a gaming thing? I feel like it's somehow connected to Sam. I don't know.
Well, he knows that maybe he doesn't get the job, but maybe he encourages Sam to hear about it. Maybe I don't know, maybe he's trying to instill, I still think that he's trying to facilitate a relationship between Marshall and Sam.
Mm.
I'm not really sure if that's the fact, because they haven't really been pushed towards each other at all.
Right. Yeah.
But I still think it has something to do with young technologies and I don't know. I'm just trying to think, what would Mr. Lawson want? And like the only thing I can think of is more power, more influence, because that's what people like him want. And where do we see power right now? Most successful company that we're really acquainted with is Young Technologies. So I don't know.
What do you think, Krystine?
Okay, so my theory was that this is like a whole scheme to bring Marshall back into the law firm. So I felt like, so the job as a concept artist, what if like somehow Marshall gets the job, he draws them like a couple of stuff for them, but they steal his ideas, and it's a whole legal thing, and then Marshall gets all like butthurt and or like upset that like his stuff was drawn. It all like goes to shit, right?
He needs his family's legal services. So
yeah, his family has legal services, or like it just blows up in his face and he's like, oh, I can't do this anymore. What else can I do? What else could I possibly do as a job to make money? Well, my dad has a law firm. I was going to be a lawyer.
Yeah. I'm wondering how it ties in with Sam's story though, because I feel like it has to. I feel like there has to be a connection somewhere. Otherwise, we've got really just two stories going on side by side, and there's not much. I don't know. I'm really trying to figure out how this all ties together, along with Charles and Ellesmere. I still wonder if that job offer is maybe a legitimate offer, but specifically designed to take Charles out of the picture.
Interesting. What if, remember, he was going to draw stuff for Sam to ever make? What if he accidentally like uses his drawings for that, or like reveals her idea and her ideas get stolen by this company by mistake because of him, and now it's a whole to-do between them. Something with her game.
That could bring in Sam into the
and that would be all on him. That wouldn't be on his father's head. That would be on his head. I don't know.
Or the opposite, where he's like, oh, license her game, and then she makes a lot of money, and that's her success story. I don't know. I mean, we need conflict now, not success yet, but
my original theory was that Mr. Lawson is trying to find a way to gain control in Young Technologies, whether it's through his son, through Samara, because she's supposed to be the next CEO, but I really don't see it playing out yet in any way, shape, or form, but we don't really see any connection between any plot points yet with Young Technologies. It's still just hinting and guessing and waiting on our part on what's going on.
And it's like, what also like with the job offer, as a concept artist, like what does that have to do with like getting stalker photos of your son? Like it doesn't make sense.
There must be something. I know, right?
And I still think the person that was keeping track of Marshall was also keeping track of Sam.
I'm just laughing because I think last time you said they're like something about businesses sharing photographers, and now I work for like business marketing. We're doing marketing, and like it's all like, oh, I know this guy, so like let's use this person. Like we just use the same people because it's like, oh, we use them. Right? It's just funny to see how you hire people because you work with them already, or then your friend worked with them. So like, okay, great, we're working with them now. But it's very plausible if they know each other like that. They both hire the same stalkers.
Well, I was just thinking that if Mr. Young was looking for an agent of some kind, it would be very likely to contact a lawyer, because lawyers tend to be the fixers of whatever problem. So I think it would be very likely he would contact his lawyer, which is Young, to, I know somebody. So that's why I think it's possibly the same person, because I don't think it's somebody from work, because they're at work. So I don't know.
I think it's good. It's fun to speculate about the plot.
I feel like it's in limbo right now with its direction. Not in a bad way. It's just I feel like we're kind of in a holding pattern and we're waiting for the
That's
arc,
the major
the next
conflict, right?
arc.
Yeah. We need
What are
more
we gonna?
puzzle pieces.
Yeah, because we still have so many questions. Ellesmere, Lawson, her becoming a CEO, dad finding out, he still doesn't know. I mean, yeah. And I think the next episode we see them playing the game again. I think it's like the egg hatching. That looks like what that was the hint on Patreon. So
Oh, wasn't it? I totally forgot what it was. That's funny. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I like it. I like that both Charles and Marshall have been getting airtime and that their story is moving along.
It's been nicer this season because you've seen both of them. It felt like it was very one-sided on both times, like, okay, now it's all about Marshall. Well, what about Charles? And now then it was all about Charles. What about Marshall? So it's right now it's a little bit more back and forth, which is nice. And then we also got Link and Angela. That was refreshing. We haven't seen too much of Dee or Dallas in a while.
A little bit.
I'm still curious about the cosplay because we've seen that come to play. I still want to know if Charles is ever going to take her to an escape room, because he mentioned that, and so there's just so many things that have been dropped, and I wonder if she's really going to pick them up and go with it.
Ooh, what if like an escape room is like their first date? That'd be cute.
That'd be so cute.
Hers like really,
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Somebody commented, what if needles were involved in the escape room and he had like a panic attack? And I'm like, that sounds like a horrible escape room.
I know, I've never seen an escape room with needles. I think I think I know better than that, but yeah.
Or him taking her to fencing class or something like that.
Yeah. The giant.
You gotta get out and do something. They've only just eaten out.
Yeah.
Gotta go do something.
Well, I like talking. My husband and I, when we first met, we all just wanted to do was talk. But yeah, that's still what we like to do. So.
I still want to see if Charles goes to that cosplay thing. I think it'd be fun.
Yep. All right.
I want to know if he plays Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That's definitely the crowd. Husband plays. Yeah. I'm trying to find my favorite panel. What's your guys' favorite panel?
In this one?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm between when Charles like is hovering over Sam. I thought that was like really cute and domestic.
With his cute little grin.
Yeah. Either that or like half naked Marshall. Or almost fully naked Marshall.
That's what I'm thinking.
Definitely not half naked. He's much more than half naked.
90% naked Marshall.
Yeah, the look on
I
think the look on Charles's face is just it's so bright and open and sweet and innocent. I just love it. It was a very healing evening for him. So I think that's cute.
We haven't seen that side of him in like a while, if ever, which is like really sweet.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit when they were on their date, when they were talking about the game. Yeah, maybe a little bit there. But this one is he seems very grateful to her. It's just a very grateful, open, happy feeling. But I also wonder what in the world he's gonna do and why he didn't mention it. So that makes me wonder.
What are you up to, sir?
Yeah, he said he was busy all weekend, so we don't really know what he was doing. Just that it gave him nightmares.
Yeah, we thought it was we thought maybe he was visiting his kid, but now it's not his kid, so yeah.
Yep.
Well, this was fun. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to next week as always.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was great, especially like the first episode had a lot of like good discussions.
Mm-hmm.
I always have a lot to say when it's a Charles episode.
Yeah. Well, also awesome, ladies. Thank you so much. It's always so nice to do
Thank
podcasts. I love it.
you.
It's always a blast. And have a wonderful evening.
You as well.
Right.
Bye.
Thank you so much to my current patrons: Suzie, LadyLibris, Lily, Jenny, Molly, Veronica, Emily, Jo, Rochelle, Saucy, Tuggles, and Rose, Alexa, Misti, Joanne, 𝗪𝗏, Esther, 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗎𝗋𝗄𝗎, Emily, Jean, Jen, Erin, Kay, Lily, Beckett, Duranda, Krystine, Sadie, Kelly, Teresa, Mrs. Gastaldo, Tatiana, Louisa, Rachel, and Stacey Moon. Your support is truly appreciated.